So we've finally got some decent weather, much lower winds and some nice sunshine. Today I've come to a place I've mentioned probably once or twice in previous videos, which is the Lanercost Bridge. As you can see, we've got a couple of bollards there to stop traffic coming through. This is the river that it goes over, and you can see it's really peaty in colour. And then at the other end of the bridge you've got a couple more bollards as well, and there is a plaque on one of those bollards about the bridge. The bridge was built in 1724, I believe, by 4 local stonemasons. It was to replace previous bridges that had all been along here that had either gone into disrepair, they were made of wood, and some of them even got swept away in floods. This bridge was in use right the way up until about 1960 for vehicles, and at that point they had deemed it not safe for vehicles anymore. I suppose it's probably the point of time where we're getting a lot more vehicles on the road, vehicles are getting a lot heavier, and therefore the way this bridge is constructed, it just wouldn't have taken all of that load. In the 1960s they built this road bridge to replace it, and also just reading that plaque, I think it was late 1990s that the local council, along with the Lottery Heritage Fund, I think it is, did renovate the bridge. I came here probably about 2 years ago to get some images, and that was really before I was mainly into the photography that I'm doing now. One of the images I captured at that point was about this place here. We've got this, like these square pieces on either side of the bridge here, and these actually make a really interesting image, but not from here. I need to be up there. So in order to get that image I need to get the drone out, and this is what I've been waiting for the right weather and the right wind conditions. So I've got the drone out and just trying to keep well away from the trees, and let's get this up. So I think this photo can work in 2 ways. Because you've got that triangular points pointing out to one side, it works that way with the pathway coming right the way through, but at the same time I think it also works with everything at angles. So that's some low-level shots. Just try from higher up without trying to get the other bridge in. When I got my first drone, I wasn't really into the photography and I was out with it all the time, but now I've really got into the photography. I use this just like a tool for getting those images that I can't get with the normal camera. And that's what photography is really all about. It's trying to get the best images you can with the equipment you've got. So I think I've got the images that I want with the drone, but while I'm here I'm going to have a look around and then see about getting the other camera out. I've come under the bridge now. The moment I walked down here I spotted something straight away, and that's just on the other side here. It's this brickwork that's all reflected in the water, and I think this is where the peaty water, because it's quite dark, actually helps this, and it gives a really nice reflection there. And I've just got my 24-105 lens on, which isn't a very fast lens, and I've had to zoom in at the full 105mm, and because of that I think it's at f7.1, and it is actually quite dark under here for photographs, so unless I really whack up the ISO I need to use a lot slower shutter speed. But I thought that actually takes the image to a different type of image, something totally different, and that's by slowing the shutter speed. The ripples on the water are now all smoothing out and it's becoming a little bit more blurred. So I've even increased the aperture up to about f11 and f16 to get to the point where I'm half a second exposure, and I just think that that looks a lot nicer than trying to get everything pin sharp. I've just come a little bit further along now, so I can now actually fully see the bridge. When I first came here I eyed up what I wanted here, and it is just a straightforward scene. And I initially started off with the 35mm on here, and I found that it was, to get the bridge in, you then lost a lot of this bottom sort of like reflections. So I've left the camera in exactly the same position and switched to the 16mm, which is now really ultra wide, and I'll display both those images so you can just see what a difference a 16 to a 35mm takes. What I may well try as well is actually stick the 35mm on and try on a portrait mode. Now to me, I think that image works a lot better. 35mm in portrait mode, got the pieces of grass on the front here, which are just appearing in the bottom of the image, which act almost like a frame to the bottom. And you've got that really strong reflection of the bridge, first of all, just behind those grasses in the water. And then you've got the bridge itself, and it's all surrounded by the greenery down the left-hand side. By going by the meter reading on the camera, it seems to think I'm seriously underexposed, but this is a really contrasty sort of situation. I want to try and keep some of the blue that's in the sky. If I let that burn out, then I've lost that for good. And hopefully not having any of the darker areas too dark that I can't pull out the detail. My main aim today was to get that drone flight for the aerial shot on top of the bridge. The main thing to take away from this video really is that photography is all about using the tools that you've got. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I've got one or two nice pictures there for you to enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching.